April 18th, and I'm coming to you straight from school to talk to you guys because I just finished the last day of my internship, and I wanted to make this video because it's been highly requested on the channel. I'm in between classes. Class starts in about 5-7 minutes, and I wanted to make this video about how to get a legal internship. I'm sitting here staring at the city and, you know, contemplating things. As I wrapped up everything for my internship, I learned so much during the course of the internship. I was at the internship from September of last year through now, April, and I learned so much, and the judges I got to work with were awesome. They were informative, they were forthright with information, they didn't hold anything back, and I couldn't be more grateful for the experience that I gained. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the tips on how to get a legal internship of your own. First tip is going to be to fine-tune that resume. You know that resume that you used to get into law school? You know, the one that you included in your application to whatever school you applied to? Fine-tune that resume specifically for the position you're trying to get. Now you're going to need to read it over, and you're going to need to list all the jobs or occupations you have held since you began working. List all the jobs you've had from present all the way with the more present ones, the ones that you have right now, all the way to the oldest, least recent jobs. And then you're gonna list any awards, certificates you've earned, list core competencies, things that you're good at doing, list things like, you know, if you're proficient in Word and or all of Microsoft Office, list those things, any related training to the position you're trying to get, any education degrees you've earned to date, and you also want to include your name, your phone number, and a current professional email address. No snickerdoodle 411. Put your name, you know, make it a very professional email address. Make sure your verb tenses are consistent, and make sure that your resume is very easy to read. Proofread it non-stop. Have someone else read it. Go over it over and over and over again to make sure there are no typos, and make sure that your verb tenses agree with what you're saying. This is major key to getting your foot in the door. If your resume is not on point, chances are it will be passed on. Next step is getting an interview. You know, make sure you place the resume in the correct hands. Email representatives of offices so that you can get your resume in their hands. Next step, okay, this is assuming that you've gotten an interview. Bring several copies of your resume with you. Dress professionally. Ladies, wear a suit with a blouse or a skirt. Make sure you look neat and that you smell good. Put on that perfume, but not too much. And wear nice shoes that are not beat up. You know, loafers, a cute pair of ballet flats. That'll do the trick. Make sure you are on time. This is everything. Arrive 15 minutes early to allow yourself to kind of get acclimated, and also allow yourself some time to get lost if you do get lost. Try to arrive early, and also bring any writing samples you might have with you, with several different copies, so that if anyone wants to take a writing sample, they're able to do that. Okay, you got your interview and you're ready to go. So you need to be prepared to discuss your resume in depth. Try to take control of the interview itself. Make it more of a conversation if you can. Make it so that, you know, you're kind of telling your story. Provide examples of how what you do or have done applies to the internship you're trying to achieve, you're trying to get right now. Be conversational, you know, come prepared with questions for your interviewer, and then also smile and relax. Find commonalities if possible with the interviewer. Try not to fidget as you speak, and try to remain as calm and cool and collected as possible. I know this is not easy, but you can definitely do it. Be sure to kind of give extra copies of your resume to your interviewer if necessary, and then also take notes on what you're discussing during your interview or any questions you might have. That way, when the interviewer is done asking you questions, you can ask that person questions. try to be as thorough and honest as possible, but try your best to apply what you've done to what you are expected to be able to do. And try to not let them know if you're not proficient at something. Try to apply something that you're not good at or you don't know if you're good at to what you've done already. Definitely be sure to discuss your expectations for the internship. Your interviewer is going to discuss their expectations for you, but you try to, you know, outline what your expectations are, what you want to get out of the internship, what you want to learn, what you hope to get out of this experience. This actually lends well to the interviewer seeing how intuitive you are, and you know, also like it helps them to see what you want to get out of the experience while working with them. To wrap up your interview, be sure to thank your interviewer for their time and therefore their effort in seeing you. Be sure to remind them of how you can be reached. So, you know, be sure to point out your email and your phone number and stuff on your resume. And also, you know, another great thing that I've done in the past is I've sent thank you notes. I've sent a thank you card or a thank you note to the judge that interviewed me for my internship after the interview. Just basically reminding him, hey, still looking to hear from you. Really excited to hear about possibility of working with you. Thank you so much for interviewing with me. I enjoyed the conversation we had, and remind them how to like reach you again. Tip I have, well, it's not really a tip, but it's basically another pointer, is that, you know, you want to repeat this process as frequently as possible for as many positions you're trying to go for. You can find internships through your career development office at your school, through local listings on the internet, through various different sources. You just have to be diligent, and you have to tailor your resume for each position. Don't go in there with the same resume for each position, because each position is most likely different. You're most likely going to be doing different things for each position, each internship position. So you definitely want to tailor your resume for each position. Go in there with different objectives, different goals for each position, and tailor your experience and the things that your main talking points to that position itself. That way, the interviewer feels like you prepared specifically for this and not just for a generic position, a generic internship. Don't give up if you don't get the first position. Continue to apply, continue to interview, continue to show up. You will get a position. You can do this, and yes, you are gonna be just fine. So how I got my internship, I had an administrative law judge come into one of my classes in, I believe it was the fall semester of last semester, in the very beginning. He was a guest speaker in my administrative law class, and he was an administrative law judge. And he said it was expressing a need for interns to come in and work at an employment office, a federal employment office, and in Baltimore. And I was extremely interested because I wanted the experience, and they stressed the fact that they had very flexible schedules. They would work with you on on your availability. So the requirement, I believe, was to work 10 hours a day or 10 hours a week total. So whether you did 5 hours one day, 5 hours another day, or if you did all 10 hours in one day, it didn't matter to them. So considering the fact that I have off on Mondays, typically every week, I decided I would go in on Mondays of every week to work at the office. And I was drafting motions for summary judgment, and I was also just doing case management and working with the judges to go to their hearings and prepare them for their hearings, and listening in on teleconferences with clients. And it was really awesome. Like, I really enjoyed my experience there. I learned so much, and the judges were extremely patient with me because I actually hadn't drafted a motion for summary judgment before, and I became very competent at it. And at the end of the day, I was given a letter of recommendation from my judge, And he says he wants me to continue to reach out to him and keep in touch with him so that when I seek further employment elsewhere, other than the job I'm at now, I will be able to use him as a reference. So internships, whether they're paid or not, offer an extreme amount of experience, an extreme amount of you know, it just gives you a little bit of an edge above the learning curve. Helps you to develop your skills as an attorney, and it also puts you kind of out of your comfort zone so that you grow and you develop into a better attorney. I'm graduating, as you guys know, in like a year, so this is invaluable experience to me. So I'm really excited, and it ended yesterday, and I couldn't be more grateful to the office for accepting me and allowing me to learn. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you guys find my tips helpful, and if you have any questions about internships or gaining any legal experience, just let me know in the comments below, and I will be sure to respond to your comments. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm about to walk into work, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace.